Alright, thank you all for coming to my speech 2 for Communications 1105. Today I'm going to be here to talk to you about the history of soccer and the development of skill moves over time. To jump right into it, I'm going to begin talking about where soccer began, which was in 1863 in England, in a backyard, what they call football match between just two pubs. In England, soccer is known as football. Also in Europe and highly amongst the world, it's known as football. Only here in America do we actually call it soccer because we have American football. Personally, I enjoy soccer. I played soccer 2 years in high school, and I also participated in my youth for a lot of years. Comparing American culture and the rest of the world's culture with soccer, it's much different here in America. Soccer is only the 5th most popular sport, falling behind baseball, basketball, hockey, and American football. That's just kind of like strange comparing it to the rest of the world because it's the number one most popular sport amongst everyone. Jump right into, I'm going to be talking about the skill moves and the development of them over time. So the skill moves in general, they're going to be used to attack and defend, create space from other players when you're playing. 3 moves I'm going to be talking about today are the Cruyff, around the world, and the rainbow flick. I don't have a soccer ball, but I do have a smaller women's basketball that's kind of like closer in size to a size 5 soccer ball. And the first move I'm going to demonstrate to you is the Cruyff. This one was created by James Cruyff in the 90s, and basically it's pretty simple. You learn this when you're pretty younger, intermediate stages, when you're playing soccer, and it's used all the time. As you're going, say if you're moving in a forward position, you take your non-dominant foot, put it to the side of the ball, and instead of continue moving at a forward pace, you take the inside of your foot, and you just pull it back, changing your direction. And it's just going to create space from your defender, or if you're attacking, you create space, that way you can find an open pass or something like that. The next one I'm going to be talking to you about is going to be called Around the World. This move is personally my favorite. I would say that this is probably one of the more popular moves amongst people my age and just with the new soccer era. It was created in 2010 in the World Cup, and it's not necessarily used like the other soccer moves like Cruyff and Rainbow Flick to attack or defend. This one's used for work on footwork and pretty much just skill. And the way you do it is you hold it up into your shin and your foot. You're going to press in between the two, and when you roll it up, you're going to take your foot and just press it right up against your shin. Once you feel comfortable doing that multiple times and getting the hang of that, you can basically you're going to try and throw the ball up in all one motion while moving your leg up. And when you do that, as you release your foot from the ball, you're going to take your foot and you're going to move it around the ball and try and catch before the ball hits the ground, and it takes some practice. So I'll go and attempt to do that the very first time. Sorry about that. A little sticky. So I was able to do it that time right there. Like I said, it just takes practice to get learn how to do it. Over the years, it's been developed more, and you'll see popular among social media and stuff like that. And they'll use that to kind of extend the challenge to other soccer players, and it's kind of cool how it's developed over time. So the last one I'm going to be talking to you about today is the rainbow flick. And this one, I'm not necessarily going to demonstrate for you completely, but I can show you how you get the move started. I'm not going to do it because we're indoors, and typically the move is supposed to go completely over your head and the defender's head. And I just, I don't want to break anything inside the household today. I'm not too good at this one, but it is one of my favorite moves. So basically this one was also created in the 2002 World Cup, and it was between Turkey and Brazil. Turkish player, back in 2000s, beginning of the 21st century and stuff like that, skill moves were not as popular. So when this dude did this in the semifinals World Cup match, people kind of went crazy. Anyways, we'll get right into it. So you'll take your non-dominant foot as you're moving at pace, or you can stand still when you're first learning it, and you're going to make sure that the ball is secure, kind of on almost your heel, a little bit above your heel. And when you're standing still, it's kind of hard to do, but as you get better at it, it will be easier to do as you're at pace. You'll take your dominant foot, and you'll lean it up. And the first step to really learn how to do this move is just practicing rolling the ball up and down your leg. And when you do it, you'll basically lean forward, and once you feel comfortable leaning forward, you're gonna throw your that foot that's non-dominant, and you're just gonna kind of kick it up like that. And I can go ahead and try, I guess, like a small one for you guys, kind of like that. But instead, so like actual full motion, it goes over your head completely. So in conclusion, these moves are just like part of kind of like the soccer culture, and kind of what helped make soccer what it is today, and how it's developed, and how much different it is compared to just years ago. I just want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.